What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again. Re-recording this because of my Sennheiser's overly obnoxious sensitivity here that can pick up my breathing like a wind tunnel. We've got a lot of news to cover. I'm ready to get to bed because it's 4 in the morning, so let's try to get through this quick. First, we've got changes by Crypto 202 to Pelican and Falcon maneuverability. It's also updated ACE compatibility for ACE 3.5 and 3.51. Okay, so now that that's covered, he's changed some other stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. First of all, we have an update from HK Urban. HK Urban has created a new health system, as you guys can see with the pictures that we've been, the picture we've been showing off so far. He's created the Optican health stations from Halo 3 ODST. These health stations that are pictured here work basically off the premise that the developers themselves will create stuff for them, or not the developers, the community will create the stuff for them essentially. They'll have metagel packs, but they won't come preloaded or anything like that. They won't be scripted in, but they're gonna set it up so that mission makers and stuff like that can place the Optican gel packs into the slots. You can see one such slot on here. So this is basically the separate kiosk. And in just a second here, about 15 seconds actually, you'll see the other version. The other version is essentially just that little bit that juts out on this model. That's just supposed to stick off a wall and have like an awning that you see in some of the missions too. And that will be popping up right about now. So you've got this independent model. It's pretty similar. Obviously, neither of these models are textured yet. And this is also in the 3D modeling program that the HK uses, so they're going to look a lot different once they're in game. And that's to be expected, so they probably won't look quite as graphically good, but they'll look a lot better because they'll be textured and stuff too. Switching gears for a second here back to Crypto 202. He started a ODST community armor project, I think that's what he calls it, in which he's given the community instructions to create their own ODST armor. He doesn't create it for you, but he shows you the steps to doing it. Going further though, Crypto's also done another modification here, and we actually have some video footage for that. Normally I don't take other people's video footage. This is something new for me, and let me know what you guys think, and anybody who watches this, let me know. And if it's your footage, let me know if that's okay or that's an issue. He modified the M6C compensator. That's M6C is the ODST pistol. The compensator in the Optray version's much louder than the Halo 3 ODST version. This is for balance reasons, because obviously, the compensator is not a silencer. It's meant to be like a normal pistol sound, but it's supposed to stop recoil. Now, in Halo 3 ODST, with that being said, the compensator actually acted as a silencer. So, as you can see, this one's much quieter. It sounds much closer to the ODST variant. This basically just takes the code from the silencer and places it with the body of the compensator. Now, I don't know if this is separate, but I believe it is separate, so that you can have the regular compensator as well as this variant with it. Going on, we've got a small clip of footage from Suraru during a community event with the Prophets. Now, the Prophets had an event just this past Saturday. Suraru in this situation is acting as Pelican transport pilot, and he's just gotten a call that an enemy Pelican has stationed itself above the town where the Marines that he's been transporting are in. So he's taking to the air to take it out. The Prophets has disbanded. They did have an event planned for next Saturday. However, they did reform as a new group, and it's something really goofy here, so I have to look it up real quick. But it's called Rated Skies Gaming. Essentially, it's the same group as Prophets, except for it does not have BP Kingpin, who is the co-leader of Prophets. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out for him. I guess that's just one of those things we're going to have to wait and see, because I really don't know. there's a lot of other community changes too, and that's a common question I get is, hey, do you know where the active servers are where I can play? The thing is, guys, is these public servers and the private servers even are constantly coming and going. Just all I can say is tune into the Reddit. Watch the Reddit like a hawk. People will generally play when there's going to be big gaming sessions or they're going to game as a group. Watch there. Keep an eye on the server listing. It's not as regularly updated as it probably should be, but there's a list of official servers and their team speaks. Some of those get updated, some of them haven't been or are gone completely. But it's definitely a lot better than asking me. I mean, I don't mind trying to help you guys. It's just they change so frequently. I have a hard time keeping up with it too. So just, I mean, if you're interested in doing that and playing with other people, that's really your best bet to stay the most up to date. Because, well, I do kind of track that. I'm not as fast as everybody else. And this video will be linked at the bottom, the full video with sound and everything. So, moving on to our big reveal though. The Longsword. This was teased April Fool's Day that we'd be getting a Pelican work in progress video Sunday. Came technically Monday for most people, but here it is. Looks awesome. A couple people have commented on that front landing gear. It does look a little bit off, but it's not too bad. I mean, you just that's not why anybody wants the longsword in the game anyways, to have it landed. They want it so it can blow the crap out of the enemy. So here you see it in flight. This shows its VTOL / STOL functions. STOL is short takeoff and landing. VTOL is obviously vertical, which you just saw in that clip right there. So due to its size, obviously most airfields in the game won't really be able to handle it. Here you'll see that it says variants. As far as we've seen, I think we've only seen like one variant of it. But a classic shot, the longsword sweeping in right overhead and then blowing the crap out of something. I mean, that's almost the exact shot they use in almost all the Halo games whenever you see a longsword. And just here you got a background shot of them flying, looking at the cockpit. And then an overhead flight of them leaving a number of frigates. Okay, so let's go to the pictures because some pictures were released earlier today. Now, with these pictures here, the first one we have just a gray box of the Pelican. Another shot of landing gear from an angle. You can tell that this thing is very inspired by the B-3 bomber. And that's not anything to do with the mod. That's just how it was originally designed, by Bungie. You can see that with the rear landing gear, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Other than that, it looks just like the longsword you'd see. Here, this is my favorite part here. This is the interior of the longsword. Now, there's a lot going on here. I'll try to cover it all pretty quick. One, the plan is for you to be able to walk around this. We don't know how that's going to be implemented yet. We're hoping to see the same system with the frigate when that releases too down the line. But I believe that will extend to in-flight as well as on the ground. I know there is mods that exist for that sort of thing. Going on, you can see that with the keyboards and stuff, that those are designed with the yellow keypads. It's not a big deal. It's just a nice little thing because that's the same design they use on the Pillar of Autumn. And then you can also note that the pilot seat has a blocked off viewport. And that essentially that's just from the original model or something. I don't know what they had going on there. 880 created this for another mod, and this is a port over of it with some heavy modification. That is planned to be removed in the final variant so that the pilots can see out that front window. Personally, I kind of like that thing being in there, but this is a ship that's designed for space combat. And it was never designed to be flown first person like this. In this shot here, you can see what looks like a pelican, and it just occurred to me that that's what that is. That's a pelican placed on top of it for size comparison. And this is massive compared to a pelican. And you'll see just even how it's bigger compared to a person here in just a second. So finally, you've got, people on the ground here next to the longsword, next to the pelican and stuff, and next to the vehicles. And that truck's massive compared to that guy. I mean, and that truck is dwarfed by the longsword. But we're nearing the end of the video, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up quick because, like I said, it's 4. So make sure to take it easy and make sure to keep tuning in for more Optray content.